Good afternoon, everybody. This is Technical Indicator of iHub's Penny Stock Express. Going to do a brief 5-minute tutorial on level 2. The stock of choice right now is SAEIE. The reason I chose it is because it's a volume active, has a lot of dollar volume coming in and out, and it was up a lot today, so I'm guessing there'll be a lot of shares trading hands to close. Basically what we're going to look at is the bid, and that's this column right here. These represent the buyers on the stock. We're also going to look at the ask, which is this column right here. You can see that the ask is currently building, which is the sellers on the stock or the resistance. Here you have the time and sales, so the time of day, 3:32 Eastern Standard Time, and the last order that went through and the amount that went through. And here you have the level 2 market maker activity log, so this tells you if they're going up or down on the bid or ask, representing resistance or supporting possible moves. Right now we're looking at a bid of 0.0392 by 3, so you have 2 people at 0.039, 3 people at 0.04. This represents resistance. We would want to see just one person on the bid, and you can see it just dropped, and you can see this bullish shift in market maker activity. You can see that the support is declining. These are the people that are willing to buy shares on dips. They represent support in the stock. We talk about moving averages or previous lows as support, and these are the support people that we're referring to. All right, they gobble up shares when the stock dips because they believe that it's a good entry point for reversals. These are your sellers. These are people looking to take profit on the stock, and that's the hardest thing for new traders to understand, is that the ask represents sellers. They're selling their shares to you, the buyer, or somebody else, the buyer. So right now, somebody is representing through market maker CSTI, and you can look up what that acronym means, or NIGHT. ETIM is E-Trade, UBSS is Charles Schwab. So these acronyms represent market makers. And basically what we're looking at is 2 people looking to sell at 0.04. You have one person, or one market maker I should say, looking to buy shares at 0.039. So if you're willing to sell your shares, they'll buy up a certain portion. How many they'll buy depends on how many they've requested. So now 2 people are willing to buy shares at 0.039. We want to see bid support build and the ask get thin to represent a move. Right now somebody's buying shares at 0.0395. And now the shares have jumped to 0.04. So somebody bought out those shares, somebody was able to exit their position, and another person bought at 0.0395. The person who bought at 0.0395 is now looking to sell at a higher price. They wouldn't make much at 0.04, but they would make some money if it got into these levels. So what they're hoping is that people buy out the rest of the 4s, and then the 4.2 area, and then we get into these areas here where they make money. Currently support is at 0.0396 and 0.0395. What you want to see is this bid jump up into the 4 range, and that'll allow the ask to also move up, and the person who bought those shares at 0.0395 now stands to profit. Let's see if that happens. It's looking a little more bullish here than it was previously. So we are 1 by 1, 0.0396 by 0.04. You have another buy at 0.04, and now shares have moved up into the 0.042 range. Now this is resistance. There are 3 people looking to sell, or 3 market makers looking to sell a certain number of shares at this level. You need enough buyers to take out this resistance before the stock will move up. Simple supply and demand economics. The bid has also increased. So now the person who bought at 0.0395 can sell their shares at 0.042 if somebody is willing to buy them. Okay, so you have sellers here, and somebody takes the shares off their hands, and then you have people who are willing to pick up shares on dips here, representing bid support. Right now things are looking very bullish. Somebody came in at 0.041, knocked it to 4.2, but there aren't a lot of takers right now at 0.042. So this resistance could hold, and if it does, then the shares will go back down. We see 1,000 shares bought, and the market maker activity drops to 2 market makers, so it was at 3. So the resistance is getting thinner, and then what you will see is the bids start to build. As people get more confident that the stock is going to go up, then their bid support follows suit. So you can see this 1,000 share transaction was not a lot, but it took one person off. We're not sure how much is represented here. You have another buy of 6,000. So let's see if we keep getting buys at 0.042. Again, that would thin this out. Okay, sellers are getting what they're asking for the price. Buyers are picking up shares at these prices, and bid support people are raising their bids to pick up shares on dips. If the bid support is very thin, then it'll go down quickly if somebody unloads a lot of shares, and you'll lose both ask levels and bid levels. Now at 0.041 right now, we're looking good, but I'd like to see this be 0.041 times 3 or times 4, meaning this column would say the same, and this column would say the same, and this column would say the same. All right, and we want to see this decrease to 1 right now. So 2 buyers. Let's see if we get some more. The bid is dropping now. You saw that happen real quick. Okay, so ETIM lowered the bid, so we dropped off that 0.041 area. People are losing confidence in this run, and we'll probably see the ask start to dip as well, because people looking to sell their shares are realizing that they're not going to get this price. So if they don't get the price, then they're going to jockey for the next available price, somewhere between here and where the bid has been dropped to, because they know they can get this price. This person is saying, I will pay this. But the people selling, they want to get this much for whatever reason. Now you saw another buy at 11,000, so that was good, but the bid is declining, which concerns me. I think if these 4 2s don't come off soon, then we're going to drop down. This is how you use the level 2 to support your trading during the day. And you should always be using level 2. It's not an expensive tool whatsoever for somebody who's trading stocks. You can easily make up a subscription to any service in one good trade, and level 2 will definitely help you understand what's happening in the stock. I won't keep this video going for much longer because we're already 6 minutes in, and it'll take a long time to render in high definition. But I think you're starting to get the point, especially if you're new, that these are the buyers on dip, these are the sellers, and you can see that 4-2, now we have 3 people at 4-2, so this resistance is holding strong, and it looks like it's not going to fade. We're not getting the orders that we need to take out the buyers, and therefore what happens eventually is somebody takes their order off of this level and they drop it down to 0.041. Let's see if that happens. Knight just raised the ask to 0.043. So this person, whoever it is, representing through Knight, essentially said, I'm changing my order to 0.043. Not sure there's a lot of substance there, I could be wrong, but the volume isn't really bullish right now to take out these sellers. Again, your support is getting pretty thin at 0.04, so there's a good chance that we're going to see a pullback here unless we get the volume we need. Anyways, going back to the person that bought at 0.0395, they could sell right now on the bid at 0.04, provided that this person will pick up enough shares and exit their position. And they will have exited with a 0.005 credit, okay, or win, their trade. It's not going to equate to a lot of money, especially based on the shares that were traded, but you get the point. This person is doing okay even if they have to sell their shares on the bid. All right, so we had another 10,000 buy on 0.042, and you saw that market maker leave that area. So that person who was selling, they got the price they wanted. Now there is one person left with market maker CSTI that's looking to sell at 0.042. If that person's needs are met, then the stock will jump up to 0.043, and the bid support should follow. Right now the bid support is pretty thin. I don't like trading stocks with big spreads. You can see 0.04 to 0.042. This basically means if you buy at 0.042, worst case scenario, you need the bid to increase to 0.042 for you to sell your shares. That's not a good position to be in. You'd rather have this say 0.0415 right now. That is a very tight bid-ask relationship. And that allows you, if you make a mistake, to minimize your losses. So never get into a stock that has a really, really big spread. Those are considered volatile stocks. Usually stocks that don't have a lot of volume, dollar and volume, especially dollar volume, because very, very small stocks can have huge volume, but it doesn't equate to much money. This is good trading money going in and out of stock, meaning that it's not super volatile in penny land. So you can get in and get out without your share price falling off the planet very quickly. There's good support in the stock, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'll keep this rolling here for about 30 more seconds. We're getting into the 10-minute mark, and I know I said it would be about 5 minutes. Biggest things to remember if you're new, these are the buyers who are willing to pick up shares on the dips. You want to see a lot of the top number going down. That means there's strong bid support. That can evaporate very quickly, okay, especially in penny stocks. But the more there is, the better. And the less there is on the ask, the better, because this is resistance and this is support. You want to buy your shares preferably at the support levels. All right, and that's why people are looking to pick up on dips or the bid, and you want to sell your shares just before resistance on the ask. And that's the way to make money in the stock market. We're going to keep this up for another minute or two, only because I'd like to see if we can just pick up another buy or two at 0.042, which should lump this up to 0.043, and the bid should then build, and you'll kind of get the idea if you're new. All in all, I think everybody should have level 2 service if you're trading penny stocks. Understanding supply and demand will definitely help you increase your profitability. It'll also help you understand whether or not you should buy some of these thinly traded stocks. We got another buy at 42, so representing some pretty good resistance through this market maker. They must have a lot of shares that they're looking to sell at this price. Hopefully they'll pull their order or fill their order, and it'll allow the stock to move up. The bid just built at 0.04, so now you can see another person is willing to buy shares at 0.04. I'm guessing if this builds one more, or if this comes off, we're moving up. Alright, so we should see 0.042 probably come off here soon. It seems like they're going to close this stock up. It's 3:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 0.04 is building. 0.042 is thinning. There's another buy at 0.042. So right now as a trader, if I wanted to get in this stock at the end of the day, this would be the time to grab shares just before it moves up to a higher price. You can see it dipped, however, to 0.0419. Let's see if that holds true. The resistance is now building. Possibility that I guessed wrong. And you can see the bid is now thinning. So the resistance just built. Share price actually fell below what we were hoping to come off. So somebody came in underneath that person and said, I'm going to try and get my order filled before you get your order filled. Essentially that's what's happening, and that causes stock to go down. So let's see if that bounces right back off here. 0.04 is thinning. 0.039 is representing 2 here. So we have better bid support at 0.039. We have less bid support at 0.04. Shares are still trading at 0.042. But it looks like patience is thinning with auto, and somebody's coming in here to sell just below CSTI, and that is causing ETIM to come in below them, and now people are jockeying for sells, which is a bearish cycle. So if we picked up shares at 0.042, we bet wrong, and now we can see that the best case scenario is to get out of 0.04 or jockey for a lower position and take a loss, or hope that it goes back up. This is why having level 2 allows you to cut your losses very quickly. If you guess right and it goes up, then you can identify where resistance gets really thick. And sometimes you could have 10 people at 0.042 and it looks like the resistance is strong, but the buyers are so strong that they take it out very quickly. And other times, that's not the case. Right now, 4.2 is holding up. CSTI is back on the board. You can see that somebody unloaded some shares on the bid at 0.04, 2,100 shares. So somebody was willing to take those shares off of their hand. Somebody sold at this price. Other people are asking these prices. 0.049, so now the bid and ask get tight, and now things are getting bearish with this stock. So you definitely would be looking to exit your position if you picked up at 0.042 with a loss. But again, the volume really isn't that strong right now to support trends one way or the other, so it's really a guess. And the easiest way to guess correctly is when you have a really, really deep bid and a really, really thin ask with a lot of bullish activity going on in the stock. So now we're getting very bearish. You can see that the resistance at 0.039 is getting strong. You can see that the bid is going down significantly and quickly. To follow suit, these are the prices that people are willing to pay now, okay, on dips, and these are what people are asking. So now people got nervous. They thought it might run. It didn't. They just went out. Now more and more people are selling. Now it drops down. And people just keep changing their orders to get their order to the top to fill the next buyer's order. So hopefully this makes sense. Right there was a good example of a false run. And you can see support is fading quick. And people are jockeying for the top position on the level 2. And that forces share price down. Alright, this has run longer than I wanted it to, so thanks for staying with me. If you made it all the way to the end, I hope you learned something from it. You have your sellers here, and people that buy the stock believe that it's going to go higher than that price. People here, these are the people looking to buy on dips, and they represent the support in the stock. Support, resistance, and if you can learn this, It'll definitely help you in your trades moving forward. My name is Technical Indicator. Find me at the Penny Stock Express. Have a great trading session Monday, everybody, and enjoy your weekend.